Hello, this may or may not be RJ City, and you're listening to Count It Out with Mike and Tyler, or you're watching it, or you've decided you don't like their faces, so you've closed your eyes and you're just listening to it, which is the best way, I think, because don't they have some voices? Go ahead, close your eyes. I'll hear you guys later.
Listening to Count It Out with Mike and Tyler.
Well, we are live, pals, and welcome to another edition of the Bill After Seal of Approve, Count It Out with Mike and Tyler. My name is Tyler, and I am joined, as always, by the one and only, try not to sing along with us, folks, Mojito Mike. Mike, what's going on, brother?
Hey, we have an amazing theme song. Try not to sing along with that.
We do have an amazing theme
song. Count it out. Come on. Try not to sing along.
We got a jam-packed show today, too. I'm going to be counting down the top 7, I don't even know how to word it. I guess top 7 wrestling theme songs that you can sing along to, or that fans sing along to.
Yeah.
We're going to be joined in just a moment by one of the guys that are running the WrestleFest convention that we are going to be a part of this Sunday, Wing Lee. Going to give you all the information about WrestleFest, which I am so excited to be a part of. We are going to talk a little bit of the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, and just as we were recording this, they have put out their list for the top 250 PWI women's ranking. So we're going to talk about a couple of the names.
Do you have those? I haven't. You told me about this 32 seconds ago. I haven't laid eyes on it.
I have the top 10.
Okay. Cool. I have some guesses, and I don't want to look at it until we talk about it. So yeah, what are we gonna do? You want to throw it away to Wing first?
Yeah, I want to get to Wing Lee here because I am super excited for this WrestleFest event, and I want everybody to know all about it so they can come and support this great cause. So let's chat with Wing right now.
Let's go to Wing.
Putting on a humongous event that we are so excited to be a part of. It is WrestleFest this Sunday, October the 20th. But I'm going to let the man tell us all about it. Wing Lee is here with us. Wing, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, guys. How's it going, man?
This is great, man. We're happy to have you on. I've seen you around a bunch of shows with Destiny. I always enjoy chatting with you, so it's great to have you on. Count it out here, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you for having me today, man. Really appreciate it.
Of course. So let's get into this big event. WrestleFest is coming Sunday, October 20th from 11 to 4 p.m. in Mississauga, Ontario. Let's talk about kind of the brainchild of this event. Where does this come from, and what can we expect to see on Sunday?
So the brainchild, I guess, stems from like a couple of discussions from various people wanting to do like a wrestling convention out in Toronto, right? But I've always heard like discussions here and there, but nothing came to fruition, right? As you know, there's a lot of hurdles to kind of pull off an event like this.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you compare it to something like, say, WrestleCon in the US, right? Where it's just like filled with like hundreds of wrestlers and vendors and whatnot, right? And then obviously in the US they have the population to sustain it, right? So it's kind of tougher to do it in Canada, but hey, we're taking a shot at it. Like we feel we've had like some of the groundwork done already. As you guys know, I run our own show called Awesome Toy Show.
Absolutely.
So we've dealt with a lot of vendors in the wrestling world as well. Yeah. And then, as you've seen, we are also vending at like wrestling events as well. Right. So we're connected with companies like, say, Desperate Wrestling. So it's kind of like a natural development here where all the pieces of the puzzle are coming together now, right? So, yeah, that's kind of where it came from. So kind of like everyone had this talk about a wrestling convention, as now it's time to, execute it,
Absolutely. And we've got some pretty awesome guests coming there. Do you want to tell the people some of the names that we can expect to see at this event?
Sure. First and foremost, we got Barbie Blank coming, formerly known as WWE Diva Kelly Kelly. She'll be there doing a meet and greet, signing autographs, taking photos. And we also have former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas. He'll be doing a book signing as well for his book, The Three Count, as well as taking pictures and autographs as well. So
Yeah, that's going to be great. Couple great names there, and we're really proud to be a part of it as well. We're going to be filming all kinds of content with Count It Out,
for sure.
part of the event. Let the people know where exactly this event is and the times and all that stuff as well, where they can get tickets.
Sure, sure. First and foremost, everyone can get tickets on the website, wrestlefest.ca. We got the general admission, VIP tickets, and then the ultimate fan package as well available. The event will be in Mississauga at Kings Court, 2340 Meadowvale Boulevard, Unit 14. And it's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Tell us about that ultimate fans package there, Wing. What do fans get if they go in for something like that?
So I guess one of the main prizes at our show is that we're actually giving away a trip to WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So when you buy the Ultimate Fan Package, you're going to get additional raffle tickets to enter to the draw. So you get a higher chance of winning, right? And we're also going to have like a wrestling swag bag with like figures, posters, t-shirts, and whatnot. So it's a good deal bundle, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. The other thing I'd love to ask you too, other than meeting these great superstars like Jimmy Corderas and Kelly Kelly, what can the fans expect to see at this event?
So we got a full fun day of wrestling related activities. Stuff like so we got a WWE 2K24 tournament, video game tournament.
Oh, that's cool.
We also have a wrestling cosplay showcase. We're gonna have like best single cosplay, best group cosplay, and best kids cosplay. So everyone come on out, dress up,
Love it.
It's the perfect time to do so, right? We also got something that's first time ever. It's a battle promo battle. So we're gonna have people cutting promos in the ring, and we're gonna see who cuts the best one, And then we're gonna have our live DJ as well, spinning wrestling theme songs throughout the day as well. So keeping the energy wrestling related,
No, I love it, man. We are super pumped to be a part of this event. Count It Out is going to be there all day from 11 to 4. We'll be going live on Instagram. We'll be recording some live footage. We want to talk to all the fans out there. Hopefully talk to Kelly Kelly and Jimmy Corderas and say hi to them. And of course, seeing you there, Wing, one more time. Give everybody all the information, where they can get their tickets, and just the final hard sell for WrestleFest this weekend.
Sure. And one more thing to add on. We're going to also have amazing vendors like yourselves there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we also got vendors selling, toys, collectibles, wrestling apparel, DVDs, magazines, like the whole plethora of stuff. Anything related to wrestling.
I'm going to spend all my money. I'm going to get so much wife heat.
No, that's why Tyler brings me to these things. He makes sure he doesn't go without me because I'm his wallet protector.
Oh, there you go. No, there's gonna be some unique items. Like from what I've heard from a couple of vendors, like there's a lot of unique stuff that you don't see typically at shows. So they're bringing some special stuff. So
awesome! I can't wait.
Yeah,
but
maybe
I'm the one buying some
So
things.
go to wrestlefest.ca to get your tickets. The show again is this Sunday on October 20th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It'll be at Kings Court at 2340 Meadowvale Boulevard, Unit 14 in Mississauga. And I hope to see everyone there. It's the first WrestleFest. Let's make it big. Let's make it huge, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time, and we look forward to seeing you this Sunday.
We'll see you Sunday, guys. Thank you so much, man.
Again, I am so pumped up for this Sunday. It's going to be great. I'm pretty sure we're going to be joined by Adam as well. Is he stopping by for a visit?
I wasn't sure if we could officially announce it because things changed, but let's announce it. Adam Conte should be with us at WrestleFest. Pretty sure he'll be there. So I'm excited for that because I'm always excited to see my friends. Haven't seen Adam in quite a while. So to get together with him will be a lot of fun. he and I have done a convention like this in the past together, and you guys know how that turned out. So he he and I back together with you in the mix as well. This is going to be one of the greatest like conventions ever. This is going to be so fun. Not to mention, I've done toy conventions, I've done comic conventions, I've done all these really fun things. You and I did that awesome. I think it was called the Awesome Toy Convention.
Awesome Toy Show, which
Yeah,
Wings
yeah,
was a
Awesome
part
Toy
of it.
Show. Yeah, you and I did that together where we got our awesome interview with Chris Van Vliet. Also, we met Trey Miguel that day and a few other really awesome
Yeah,
people
Aiden Prince was there.
in Prince. Um, but we've never done a specific wrestling convention. And there hasn't been one in our area. There was no wrestle convention in Toronto.
There hasn't
And
been one in probably 20 years.
so the fact that Wing Lee was able to put this together, I am so happy to be on the ground floor to be part of the very first one. I hope this goes on for years, and I hope Counting Out, becomes a bigger part of it every single year.
So you've told me about something that you guys did the last time you did this event, and I'm putting
Mhm.
the on-air challenge out to both yourself and Adam. And I think
Okay,
my brother Connor is coming as well.
very good.
So there's obviously going to be all kinds of vendors there, all kinds of incredible memorabilia to be displayed. So the challenge is out. No more than $50 is the limit.
Mhm.
Whoever can buy the coolest piece of memorabilia wins the bragging rights of the
Love
day.
it.
And
I won
we
this challenge last time I did this with my vintage 1992 Royal Rumble poster. I have full confidence in myself. I can do it again.
and we will be filming this, and I will put this up on our YouTube page that you can subscribe to at Counted Out 7.
This is such a win-win because even if you don't win the competition, you go home with something really cool.
Absolutely. Now, before
and,
we
and I'm looking forward to beating in competition, of course, your brother Connor, because I may have let him take advantage of me in a trade, and I'm not really proud of myself for. And I
yeah,
lost the trade. I lost
yes,
the trade big time,
not your best
and
move on that one.
and I mean big time. Not only did I lose the trade, but then when the week was done, the guy that I got in the trade is now injured.
Yeah, you
So
didn't
I
even
lost.
play.
So I lost twice. Yeah, not my greatest moment. So I'm going to take my revenge on Connor on the scavenger hunt field.
Yeah, that was not a great trade on your part
It
at
sure
all.
wasn't.
And there's a couple other questionable trades in our league this week,
Yeah,
but
you live and you learn.
we all lost this week in fantasy football. We have to give our weekly fantasy football update. I am sitting in the last playoff spot right now with a record of 3-3. Mike is in 13th out of 14th place with a record of
Yeah,
2-4. However, lots of season left to go.
sure. Wasn't this was my redemption week? This was supposed to be the week that had I had I won and certain other people lost, everything was going to change for me. Not the way it went.
Well, I mean,
Not the
you
way the cookie crumbled.
probably shouldn't have traded away T. Higgins, so.
Mm-mm.
But whatever,
Yeah.
like you said, live and learn. I got hammered this week, so like it doesn't even matter to me. And I'll rebound this week. I'll rebound. But yeah, let's talk a little bit of wrestling.
Okay.
I want to talk about American Dragon Bryan Danielson in a little bit and this angle that they did to close out the Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. But before we do
Sure.
that, let's talk a little women's wrestling.
All right. I've been waiting for this list.
So the PWI has put out their women's 250 rankings, and I've got the top 10 here. Now, Mike, you have not read this list yet. You do not know anything about it. So,
What?
if you had to take a guess at the number one ranked women's wrestler of the year for I don't know when the time periods are, um, who would you say is number one on this list?
I always get the shit wrong because just like you say, I always vote with my heart and not with my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if I'm going to go for who I think had the best year in just from a performance standpoint, somebody who stuck out and that I don't think I ever talked about this person as many times as I did this year. My guess is Tony Storm. It has to be Tony Storm.
Number one on the list is Timeless Tony Storm.
Fantastic, and she's not. She could be more deserving. I'm so
Absolutely.
happy to hear that. That makes me very happy.
Not only is her character work head and shoulders above anybody else in wrestling right now, but her in-ring work matches it. And
For sure.
fantastic stuff with Tony. I will give a spoiler. I don't even care. The year-end show is coming up. There is no chance that she is not my women's wrestler of the year. So we will talk in
There
great
is
detail about her later.
like I don't know who the rest of the rest is. If it's me, if this is my, if PWA is my list, I'm sure I'm probably wrong because again, the heart thing. I'm
Number two.
still, yeah, my number two is still gonna be Jordan Grace
All
because she's
right.
been my number one for years. I'll put her at my number two, but number
No.
two and number one for me, for our list going into the end of the year, it's Tony Storm and then it's Jordan Grace and then everybody else. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Now,
know. You can tell me who number two is. It's probably Rhea Ripley,
you
but
speak with your heart all the time.
I do.
And is it fair to say that something that's close to your heart is Bill Apter and the PWI magazines?
Well, I mean, I've been reading Bill since I was fucking 8 years old. So yeah.
Well, your heart is right on this one as well. Jordan Grace, number two on the list.
No shit. That that makes me very happy. I didn't think. I guess my head is with the rest of the wrestling community as well. But she's been my number one for the last 2 years. So
Rhea
I
Ripley
can't.
was number three as well.
Okay,
You mentioned her name. I think you could
okay,
flip Rhea and Jordan either way. I don't think there's a wrong answer there at two and three with either one
yeah,
of them. Because this is going off last year, remember? Like Rhea's year last year, winning the world title at WrestleMania from Charlotte up until having to relinquish the title this year. Like
true.
that's a strong year. But Jordan right there, I think Jordan's had a stronger year this year than last year, but her year
Yeah.
last year was incredible. All those matches with Deonna Purrazzo and stuff. You flip a coin on this one. You're not going to get an argument out of me either way on this one.
All right, let me try to fill out the rest of this list here.
You will
I'm gonna
not be able to.
I'm gonna guess Liv Morgan,
Liv Morgan is not in the top 10.
not in the top 10. Okay. Bailey. I think
Bailey is
Bailey had a good year.
Bailey is number seven.
Okay. Let's go to ROH. Willow Nightingale.
Willow Nightingale is number 8 on the list.
Good.
Nice pull there.
Io Sky.
Io Sky did not make the top 10,
Hmm.
which I'm a little surprised about.
Oh, what's her name? She's got to be in the top 10. Fucking Stephanie. Vac Vacker.
Stephanie Vacquier is
Vaquier.
number 5 on the list. Good
Number
pull.
5. Oh wow, I would have guessed 9, 8, but
See,
okay,
I don't know a
good.
whole lot about her, so that's a big pull.
Um,
So
that
you're
NXT
missing.
girl, Valkyria.
She is not on the list. You are
Okay,
missing number 4, number 6, number 9, and number 10. I personally don't know who number 4 or number
oh,
6 are.
Mariah May.
Mariah May is number 9 on the list.
Oh, okay.
So you are missing 4, 6, and 10. 10 is going to be one when I say the name. You're going to be like, fucking, that makes sense. 4 and 6, I don't know who they are personally. And that's just me not knowing a lot of.
I don't watch enough NXT and I don't watch enough AEW, so I already like listed everybody I know in both
So not,
programs.
number 4 is somebody called Mayaka. I think she's
Okay,
Stardom, but I don't know that for sure.
okay.
Number 6 is somebody called Sari.
Hmm.
I don't know Sari, and that's my ignorance, I guess. Or maybe I do know her and I just can't put a face to her.
Oh,
No,
Roxanne Perez.
she is not in the top 10. Number 10 is Athena.
Oh,
She's been the
she
Ring
had
of
a good
Honor.
year. Okay,
She's
I
been the Ring of Honor world champion longer than Roman Reigns was champion
okay.
almost. Like
All right.
she's getting to Roman Reigns territory.
I'm having a hard time watching AEW's ROH. It's very muddled to me.
Yes, it is.
So,
But yeah, I think they did a great job.
but if I do tune in, I tune in to see Willow Nightingale. So
Yeah,
yeah, okay, that's not a bad list. That's
I
not a
think they
bad
did a
list at
great
all.
job. Yeah, absolutely they did.
I like that.
Well, let's stick with AEW. They had their
Oh, you know who I wish I guessed though, and who I think should have been in that 10 spot, 8, 9, 10 spot was Masha Slamovich. She had a great year.
Mash had a great year. Yeah, and
Yeah.
just because I'll vote with my heart. Give me Jody Threat. Just because
She'll be there eventually. She'll be in the top 10 eventually. She's getting there.
she will be at Barry Wrestling for the 10-year anniversary show November 2nd.
Yes, she will. Beautiful.
But let's talk a little bit of AEW. They did the Wrestle Dream show. I'm not going to run over the whole show because I didn't watch it, but I want to talk about the main event and the main event angle
Sure.
with Bryan Danielson, American Dragon, losing the world title to Jon Moxley, officially ending his career as a full-time performer. Now, I don't know, because AEW has kind of gone back and forth on this, but I don't know if this is the end of his career or the end of his full-time career, because they've said both. Personally, I think this is the end of his full-time wrestling career. I think that you will still see him periodically for some special matches, but as a whole, I think this is pretty much starting to put a bow on the end of Dragon's career. Yeah, what a career it's been. This guy,
I mean, everything he's done in the last 10 years has been bonus. You know, I mean, we thought he was done a long time ago. So everything we've gotten for all these years, including pretty much his entire AEW run, that's been bonus time, man. And I'm glad we got it. He's given us some of his best work. And I'm glad he got to do what he wanted to do. He went out on his own terms. It's important to me. That's why I always hate it when people are like, that guy should retire. That guy should retire. That guy should retire when he's ready to fucking retire.
Yeah.
The only like I do agree if it's a health issue, like using Edge as an example, when Edge retired all those years ago, I agreed with his retirement because a doctor told him to retire. Now, am I more than pleased that he was able to come back and reclaim his career? Sure, but it looks like he's going to have to retire because the doctor's telling him to retire again. So,
who, Edge?
Yeah,
I haven't heard that.
Wait for it. But Dragon's going to go out on his own terms finally, and he was able to put some great work behind him in order to do it. Now, when it comes to the actual body of work, do I think there's way better things to do than give the title to Moxley on his way out? Yeah, but it is what it is.
I'm going to play devil's advocate a little here. Okay, let's go on your point first. Who would you put the title on?
Oh, I'm being ignorant because I don't watch the program enough to tell you who. But I don't know. I think Moxley's had his runs. I haven't heard Moxley's name spoke in big lights this year, so to me, it's like, to why Moxley?
Moxley's had a really good year, and he took a lot of time off as well. He's coming off. He took time off all summer after he dropped the IWGP title, but he was the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And ever since he's come back, he's come back with this new heel attitude. And at first, I was, it's Moxley. Moxley is great at what he does. I'm
Sure.
a big Jon Moxley fan. I think that, I understand why his critics say what they do about him, but I think there's a lot more good than negative with Moxley. 100%. His promos are unique. He's different. He's got a different vibe to him.
Yeah.
Which I've always really liked about Moxley. But now he's coming back, and the vibes
they brought back Rico Constantino. Maybe they should have put the title on him.
Okay. Having Rico with those guys though,
it's genius.
with Billy Gunn, that was great.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
A lot of people are shitting on that, and I'm like, out of all the things you could be shitting on, why exactly?
Have fun, guys. Loosen up.
Rico makes sense in that.
And it
was cool to see Rico,
and he was on American Gladiator, so suck it.
That's right.
Right, but I like what Moxley's doing now, and it's almost like Moxley's his character is trying to ramp up the AEW roster, because he's been targeting a lot of people that have been there since day one, but haven't been doing a whole lot, like Private Party and like Darby Allin, who's kind of tapered off, and Hook and Daniel Garcia.
That'd be the perfect target for Moxley to Darby Allin.
Well, I think that's where they're going with it.
Because so many people have said, including me, once Sting's gone, what does Darby have? And unfortunately, at the moment, he's proving that theory right. So how do you contrast that? How do you combat that? You put that into a story. You have Moxley saying, things gone. Now you're nothing. Now you're not doing anything.
Well, and
And then combat that. I love that.
what I love about it though is it's like he almost used somebody that's so beloved in the locker room that all those guys look up to on screen and off screen in Dragon, and it's like he sacrificed Dragon
Hmm.
to fire up the locker room, maybe.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody give that theory online, and I really started to think about it. And I'm not the biggest Darby Allin guy on the planet. Like I respect the hell out of what he does. I think he's batshit crazy and takes incredibly unnecessary risks. It makes me uncomfortable to watch him work. But I mean,
I have
I
respect for the guy. He's not my cup of tea, but I have respect for him.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think that Dragon just dropping the belt to Darby and walking away would have the same impact now
Mm.
if Darby
No,
maybe
but
beats Moxley.
Darby fighting from underneath and getting through a guy like Moxley, 100%. So maybe you know what? I'm going to step back. I'm going to take back what I said. And maybe you're right. Maybe in the view, I'm always talking about long-term storytelling over here. Maybe this is long-term storytelling. Maybe you're right. Maybe Moxley is the guy to have this on in order for somebody to come and make a big statement by beating Moxley.
And not only that, though, they've made this new Blackpool Combat Club look like a bunch of killers. Like now you've got Moxley, you got Claudio, you got Pac, and you've got Wheeler Yuta in there, and Mariana Schaefer.
I still don't buy Yuta as a tough guy. I
We'll
just don't.
see. He just did the heel turn on the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how he comes out. I'm excited to see where this goes, and it's up to AEW now to blow it, because
Sure.
I was really excited when the Young Bucks and Okada and Jack Perry got together, and I think that was a
Right.
huge flop.
Yep.
Adam Cole is back as well.
All right. Can I give an opinion on this?
I've got an opinion as well, so I'd like to hear yours.
Because I'm talking about long-term storytelling here, and this is the worst case of it. You have one of my favorite stories in AEW history in Cole and MJF
Mhm.
a year ago. They're doing some of the greatest stuff. Heel MJF or face MJF was one of the best things that ever came out of AEW. His partnership with Adam Cole was one of the funniest, most entertaining, interesting things we had going on in all of 2023. And then they ruined it with the way Cole turns heel. It was a horrible turn. We can all admit that.
Well, the faction was questionable.
And then MJF leaves, and the Cole thing just fizzled. It was a flop. It was a giant flop. Then Cole goes away. MJF comes back. It's obvious they have no idea what to do with him because at first he's Mr. Rah Rah Rah, AEW tattoo on his leg. I'm here for everybody. 2 seconds later, it turns heel and things are back to normal. Now Adam Cole comes back, and we're just supposed to be like, wait, the last time we seen you, you were evil incarnate and he was on his knees crying. Now we're supposed to cheer for you. It makes no fucking sense. I don't like the way they're doing it.
Not my favorite thing either. I will say, in defense to this angle, injuries destroyed all their momentum.
Yes.
Cole had that freak accident where he broke his ankle.
Mhm.
That has put him out for almost over a year now.
Over a year, yeah.
And MJF had his injuries where he left after dropping the title. When MJF did return, he did lay out Adam Cole, which felt like the blow off to me, in all
Exactly.
honesty.
Yeah.
And now he's turned heel. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I don't think that AEW should have turned MJF heel again.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. I 100%. I think bringing him back, I think they needed that massive babyface. They haven't had that in a while.
Well, but not to mention, though, you know what he reminds me of? And I'm not comparing him to this person, but the attitude and the fan response to him, it reminds me of the Stone Cold turn, where he's just being himself. He's a dick. He's an asshole. He tells his boss to go fuck himself, and people were behind it. And I think they should have stuck behind that.
You took the words out of my mouth, and look how well it went when they tried to make Stone Cold back into a bad guy.
And I
You
mean,
know,
not to take
let
away, MJF's
let
doing
him
great
be.
work. He is still doing great work, but I just think that he could be even bigger if they kept him as a face.
Let him be the face of your company. Let him be your babyface champion because he's the one guy. He doesn't need to be Cody Rhodes. He doesn't need to do what Cody's doing. He doesn't need to be the white meat babyface. You don't need a white meat babyface champion if you have MJF. You don't need that. Right now, WWE needs that. WWE needs, and I don't give a shit what anybody else wants to say. The criticism that Cody is unjustly getting. Cody is playing the white meat babyface card, and he's doing it fantastically because it's what the company needs right now. Um, I saw Rikishi come out and talk shit about it, and I couldn't disagree with more with 92% of what Rikishi said.
Did
I
you hear Rikishi talk about Vince Russo?
Yeah, that part maybe I agree with Rikishi a little bit, but I don't agree with his comments about Cody. I think Cody's doing a great job. You mentioned last week how it feels like people are starting to turn on Cody, and I hate that. It's AEW all over again, and hopefully WWE is able to do something to fix that. But I think Cody's doing a great job. But MJF doesn't need to be Cody, and AEW doesn't need him to be Cody. They need him to be MJF, but they can do it without him being a heel. You know, I don't know. I think they went the wrong way.
Uh, I don't know. I'm just torn with
And
AEW.
I don't think Adam Cole needs to be involved with him right now.
I mean, you've got Garcia. Like, I just don't know where you go with either one of them right now. So maybe you have them, you know, do their unfinished business. I don't know.
I guess. Dumb.
It's AEW. It is
Yeah.
what it is. We started to also see, we mentioned Rikishi. We started to see the tease of Jimmy and Jay Uso starting
Mm.
to hopefully reunite their relationship.
Hmm.
Jimmy showed up on Raw. Jay said, "See ya. I don't want to talk to you." So this could be the start of the build of the reunion of the bloodline, the modified bloodline.
Do you think they just get back together eventually, or do they need to hash it out first? What do you think?
I think something has to happen emotionally for Jay to save his people.
Yeah,
And
I
I don't know what that's going to be. I'm excited to find out.
I want Papa Briscoe to come out.
I would
You good?
I would love to see I would love to see the bloodline layout Rikishi, the new bloodline layout Rikishi, and have that be the catalyst for
I
Jimmy and Jay to reunite
I
to
like that.
defend their father.
Oh man, what a great moment that would be having Solo stare his dad in the eye and give the orders for the God to take him out.
Is
Oh man,
Solo
that would be power.
is
Yeah, so
Solo
Solo's Rikishi's
they're
son.
all brothers,
Yes,
right?
they are. Yeah, he's the youngest of them.
Yeah, I think that would
Wow,
be cool.
how powerful would that be? That'd be
Um,
awesome.
what do you think of this crown roll? What is it? Crown jewel? Holy moly, that was
Oh, I don't know much about it. I heard, yeah, they made a Crown Jewel Championship.
yeah, it's just gonna be
Yeah.
Cody against Gunter. The winner gets. It's like it's a
Uh,
nothing. It's not like gonna be defended weekly or
I'm
anything.
it's kind of like what they did a few years ago with Braun. Didn't they give
Yeah,
Braun some sort
Royal
of
Rumble, the greatest Royal Rumble
yeah,
championship.
and they gave him a trophy and the whole deal, and
Yeah,
no different than that or that thing they gave Shane, the greatest in the world thing.
yeah,
Every few years they gotta give somebody something,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I think it's smart. They make a lot of money at these shows,
Is
and
it Cody and Gunther at Crown Jewel?
yeah,
Ah, they're
champ.
wait. Okay, well, in that case, I hope they don't use Goldberg at all then. Because if they were gonna use Goldberg, use him at Crown Jewel against Gunther.
How would you book Goldberg against Gunter if you had it happen? Like, obviously, Gunter has to go
Because it's a
over.
Crown Jewel show, I really don't care. I don't pay attention to any of the booking going into those shows because to me those shows almost happen in this alternate universe that I don't care about.
I think they used to. I don't think they're as much like that anymore. You know how I would book that match? And it will never happen because I don't think Goldberg's ego would allow it to happen. I'd have
Well,
Gunter.
no matter what, Gunther goes over.
I would have Gunter go over in a Goldberg squash. Like just have him
Oh.
3 minutes, kill him.
I'd have Bret Hart as the special guest referee.
Everybody keeps saying that. I have less than zero interest in that.
uh, Screw that. Put him on commentary. That's where he belongs in that match. Put him on
He
commentary.
just tell everybody that they're stupid pieces of shit. I'm all
Love it.
for Bret
Love it.
Hart.
Speaking of Goldberg, he's got one of those theme songs that you can really just hum to, don't you think?
You can hum to it. You can't sing
Yeah.
along to it though.
Yeah.
Not like my number 7 on the list for the top 7 greatest theme songs to sing along to. Okay. Now before I get into the list, I gotta
Yeah.
go over some ground rules here.
Okay.
This is singing along to, not chanting along to. So Goldberg is out. Kurt Angle
Oh,
is
whoa,
out.
whoa. Kurt, okay, yeah, okay, Kurt Angle's out. But what about like I don't want to give any
Well, go ahead.
examples away.
Name one. It's the only way we're gonna establish our criteria so we can debate.
Nakamura.
That's a sing.
Okay, that's a sing. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought when you said that, I thought you meant it had to
No,
be
like
lyrics,
chanting.
like
No, it
words.
doesn't have to be lyrics.
Okay, all right, cool.
Singing
But
is
as long
singing.
as you're okay, cool.
I will.
Yeah,
I
no,
will,
no. I agree with you not doing the Cena sucks or the
Yeah,
you
John
suck
Cena
or the
sucks. Yeah,
yeah.
that's fun, but it's not. And
It's
now
not part of the song. You're not singing. You're making up your own shit. It's not part of it. No, I agree with you here.
there is one song, and I'm gonna just rip the bandage off right now, that I think in 1 year's time would be very high on my list, but it's too soon to
Oh, come
not put
on.
on my list right now.
You're not excluding Joe Henry, are you?
I'm not saying it's Joe Henry, but
Oh, okay.
I am excluding Randy Orton right now. Just because it's too
Because
soon.
they really
They
just started
it.
doing it.
They just
Like
started it.
The song is like 10 years old, but they really just it only really started was it around that France pay-per-view, give or take?
Yeah, Randy was basically like, "Why doesn't anyone sing my theme song?" And
Yeah.
it was after France. It was after
Was
the
it after France?
Yeah, and then I think it was like Germany. I think it was in Berlin,
Mm,
and then Toronto did it. I have a great video, which is
yeah.
on our YouTube page, of the crowd singing Randy
Yeah,
Orton's
it's
theme
great,
song.
but you're right. It's only been happening for a couple months.
So it couldn't make the list.
Okay.
But that being said, let's get into the number 7.
All right.
Number 7, it's a song. It just makes me feel so glorious, Mike.
Yeah.
We had talking about Bobby Roode and the glorious
Yeah.
theme song.
I love this.
Now, when I say this, I don't mean this in a slight to TNA wrestling at all, because they did a great job of booking Bobby Roode. He was a great competitor in TNA wrestling. But that
several times over, like he had a few good gimmicks and a few good stories. Yeah.
That first takeover event where he had this theme music coming down from the roof got him the most over in his career that he has ever been.
You couldn't be more right. And to this day, they make those little things with DIY, and it pops people as soon as you hear that theme song. I don't think I can't believe this is your number 7 actually, because people love this song, and the minute it hits up, it's one of those songs too that sucks for fans, because the part you want to sing with the most is in the very, very, very beginning. You want to be glorious, you know what I mean? You want to be there right away.
Well, they were, because they had that piano rumble first, remember? And then you hit the cue, right? I was at TakeOver Toronto when he made his entrance, and it was awesome. I need to put a reel out of that, because I have a great video of that as well.
Okay, good start to the list. I love that.
Number 6. You know what? Let's stay with the Canadian boy, and let's talk about Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I mean, this had to be on your list. This is a great. This almost, I hate to say, I'm going to mention it later because I'm sure this person's on your list. I would almost tie it with somebody, because to me, their theme songs are so not identical, but so similar, and the way the crowd interacts with it is very similar. So I would almost make a tie with another song for this. But let's see where you go.
If it's the one that you're thinking about, I
guarantee.
think one is a lot more powerful than the other one.
This one we'll get there when we get there.
This one's fun. This one's a fun.
It is fun.
Montreal Ole, and you could even put El Generico in there with the Ole.
Well, this was their way of being able to get that interaction from the El Generico character without making him the El Generico character, without doing Ole, without doing that stuff. But they were smart enough, whomever it may be, Triple H, whoever else was in the NXT creative team, looking, what are we going to do with this guy? They knew right away, this guy was super popular as El Generico. How could we get that same energy with Sami Zayn. And they did it because of this theme song. Now,
Absolutely.
Sammy took the rest and ran with it. I don't want to take away any credit from Sammy because Sammy, I think, more than almost anybody, Sammy has created his own success in WWE. But his theme song sure as hell helped.
Number 5, stick with WWE. Got to talk about the architect Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Same,
Yeah.
kind of the same thing as Sammy, but I just think his is a little cooler.
It's cool because it's such a an evolution of his songs because he always had great songs and they evolved over time. And then when they put in when this new character that he's developed over the last 2-3 years came out, and he's probably the most hated person in the WWE at the time, yet people still can't help themselves from you know what I mean? And
What?
and Seth, what I love about Seth was even though he was a heel, he still embraced it, and he does
Yeah,
you
the
know,
maestro.
love it.
What really put this one over the first couple is when he's in the ring for big matches,
Mm-hmm.
or when the bell rings, how the crowd will just sing it until he basically stops them.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what put it over for me. Number 4. This is like, it's just honestly, I just love this song. I listen to the song regularly on my playlist. Talking about Kingdom by Cody Rhodes.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, the fact that the fans are begging, just they're sitting there, you can watch them, they're on the edge of their seat waiting for the part, you know
For
what I
the
mean?
whoa.
For
But
the whoa.
here's the thing about this song though. It's so much more than just the whoa. People sing the entire song.
Yeah.
They sing the entire song, pretty much up until the second whoa. Like it's awesome. It's really fun to watch live. The woe is the two woes that they do are just such a great tie-in for it. It's a
Mm-hmm.
banger song. Like there's just an energy about that song. When those two little like boom boom hits and the lights go down and there's more than one royal family, like
Yeah.
there's just such an aura about this song, and Cody just plays it off so perfect.
This is your
Uh,
number 4?
Number 4.
Man, I never realized how hard of a list this was until you got this far. Because I'm like, I got like a whole list of 7 in my head still.
I could make a list with
Oh
7. I could
man.
make another list of 7 without this
Hmm.
any of this stuff, and it would be fine.
I'm I'm really curious and almost nervous to know what you're leaving off the list.
Yeah, I think I'll catch some heat for some people from some stuff I'm leaving off
Yeah.
the list, but we'll go from there. Number 3, get your violin out, buddy, because we're talking about
All right.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Love it.
This is
This is probably the most epic theme to come out of I was gonna say epic theme to come out of NXT, but that might be glorious. But this was the first this was the first instance of fans really getting of the modern era, anyways, really getting into a theme song like this.
very unique. The vibes and just the way that Shinsuke leans into it, the charisma that he pours out, the strut when they get the violin out there live, even the
Yeah,
timing of everything, the fans singing perfectly, the fans continuing to see after the bell rings. I don't know where Shinsuke Nakamura is right now. I don't know if he's dealing with injuries. I have not seen him on TV in a long time. But he is, I love Shinsuke Nakamura. I just think the sky's still the limit for him even to this day.
yeah.
Great.
Now I love it. I love it. I love it in your number 3 spot. I think it's fantastic. No matter what, I think you've left a huge song off your list. It all depends on what you say next, which one it is. Because I got 3 that should be on your list, and there's only 2 left. So let's go.
Number 2, we're going to ECW and talking about the Sandman. Enter
This
Sandman.
is the one I was afraid you were going to leave off.
No, this is
I
huge.
was getting really nervous. This would have been my no, because we know what number 1 is.
Number one has to be
Yeah,
number one. There's no question about it.
up until 2 years ago, this would have been my number 1. But yes, you're right. This
Uh,
is probably the first song that got fans up and singing.
If you are questioning why this would be number 2 on my list, take a minute, go onto YouTube, find the original entrance to the Sandman for ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view,
Yes.
and that's it.
I mean, even any of his actual ECW entrances, because they were all like that.
They're all like that, but
But
that one in
that
particular.
particular one, because the emotion involved. Now, go to YouTube and find it. Don't go to the net with the WWE network or anything like that, because
Yeah.
they don't use the Metallica song. You need to feel like, in order to get uh the full experience of it, it has to be Enter Sandman by Metallica, and you need to see him up in the stands. He's not even close to being in the ring yet, and he's already busted because he smashed a can over his face, and he's soaked in beer. It takes him 20 minutes to get to the ring. It's one of my favorite entrances. That's one thing that ECW always did, right? They knew how to make a spectacle before it even got to the ring. I mean, this song doesn't make the list by any means, but from an entrance standpoint, one of my favorite things ECW ever did was the New Jack entrance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it was so different than anything else ever happening. He was so unique, and he did it, in that way. Sandman's the same deal. Sandman, he played that song until he got to the ring, and he was half in the bag before he even started the match, because it took him that long to get there, and he drank a 12 a 12 pack on his way.
He was half in the bag before he got to the venue to get change. Like, but
Yeah, this is 100% deserving of your number 2 spot.
Number 1, without question, it's got to be Judas.
Without question. There's, like I said, 2 years ago, before this really started taking off, I would have gave it to Sandman. But when you don't even need to play your song,
Mm-hmm.
when when you have an entire stadium singing your song for you without you even playing it, you know that you've got something.
Now, there have been like songs like Nakamura's before this where people sang parts, but
Mm-hmm.
Judas, as far as I know, is the first song that people sang from start to finish.
Right.
And it all started on the Jericho Cruise, which
Yeah.
that was so cool when the crowd sang that. And I just thought that was going to be like a cool little one-off thing. Oh, it's a Jericho Cruise. They're all Fozzy fans. They know it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it carried over to AEW TV, and then it became unreal.
Listen,
And it will get a huge pop when it eventually he will do Judas at least one more time.
it has what I call the Hulk Hogan effect. By that, I mean, I'm not a Fozzy fan. I don't like Fozzy. Actually, I can't stand Fozzy. And I'm not a huge fan of the song Judas. Unpopular opinion, I know, but I don't like it. However, if I was sitting in an AEW crowd, it hit up, there would be something that would come over me, and I wouldn't be able to help myself but the chant and sing and get into it. It's the same thing where I've never been a Hulk Hogan fan. I've never been a Hulkamaniac. But the first time I sat in a crowd at a WWE show, and Hulk Hogan showed up, and his theme music played. I got up like I was an 8-year-old kid cheering for Hulkster. I couldn't. Like, something came over me.
Well,
It's the same thing with Judas.
I can tell you firsthand on 2 different occasions. One, I'm sitting with my brother at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, but the other one, I was sitting with our good friend of the show, Barry Wrestling 3-Pistol Champion Van Landen, and our other friend Jordan there, and we were in the front row, and we're on camera, and we're singing. They got a huge close-up of the 3 of us singing Judas. It was a great time. Very, very fun. Now, go ahead, yell at me about Joe Hendry, and I'll tell you why.
I'm not going to yell at you because I like your list. There's a few that I think are missing, and Joe Henry is the number one glaring obvious answer. I get that Joe Henry has only made the worldwide view in the last few months, but people have been singing that song on Impact for 2 years now.
Now, have they though?
Yes, they have.
Have they been singing the song, or have they
Yeah.
been singing just the opening part of the song?
I think they've been singing this. I've been singing the song.
I think if you poll 10 people to say, sing me a lyric on that song other than say his name and he'll appear, I think 3 people maybe can do the London and Paris
Yeah.
and that's only just because it just started to take off more this year. Now the theme song's always been great. We've always been clapping. We know
Yeah.
our cues.
I don't know,
However,
man.
however,
You and I at Sacrifice. I think I remember everybody really getting into it.
they got into the
Same thing at
clapping.
Revel.
They got into the clapping, but they
Okay.
were not singing. Now they are singing more now, but it's the Randy Orton effect for me in regards to they just started singing more of the song other than I Believe in Joe Henry, clap clap. Great
Mhm.
song. If we're doing like top 10 current theme songs, it's on the list. But I just think that it's got to earn a little bit more respect in the sing-along department before
Oh,
before it can make the list over some of these other ones. Not
all
not that it
right.
doesn't deserve to be on there, but it's the Randy Orton effect. This
Man,
time next year, Randy Orton's on my list. The
Tyler does Joe dirty. That's all I'll
I
remember this day. I've got a couple honorable mentions. One that I'm very surprised didn't make your list,
Mhm.
and one wouldn't have made my list, but I need to talk about it anyways. The one I'm surprised didn't make your list is the one that I referred to earlier that I thought maybe could tie with Sami Zayn, and that's Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
Why didn't you consider Becky Lynch for your list, but you considered Sami Zayn?
I don't think that the crowd sang Becky's as much.
Hmm.
I they would get really into it during the opening,
Hmm.
but I think they tapered off a lot harder and they didn't stick with it like
Hmm.
Sammy.
Okay,
There's not a lot of times where the bell rings in a Becky Lynch match and they're continuing to sing the song,
sure.
but it's an honorable mention. Of course, it's on my
Okay.
honorable mention list.
My other honorable mentions, I've got I can't remember the name of the band that covered it, but RVD's version of Walk
Yeah, yeah, that's
is definitely on my list.
on my honorable mentions as well.
And it didn't happen very long. It only happened for maybe a month, but during that month it was fun. The fans really got into it, and that's when the fans were singing the Fandango theme song.
Yeah, yeah,
That was fun.
that was a consideration as well, but it was not list worthy, but it was definitely something
It
that you could
didn't.
mention.
It fizzled out very fast.
I have John Moxley's Wild Thing on there as
Yeah.
well.
Okay. Yeah.
Fun one.
Definitely. Yeah.
This one is just for my heart, and if I was making a list with my heart, it would probably be number one because I don't care if it's only one lyric, but the final countdown.
Sure.
Like the fans don't sing it, but we yell the final countdown, and it's the greatest thing ever.
I guess you got to go CM Punk.
CM Punk's just started as well.
Yeah.
Maziro Suzuki has that little sing along part.
Yeah.
Has that sing
That's right.
along.
He has that great thing, that little part there. I love that.
That's pretty much what I came up with.
It's funny that you don't think about it until you think about it, but singing a lot of theme songs really has only been a modern thing.
It
Because
really started with Judas.
because I was trying to think of, okay, let's go way back in the day. Think of what did we used to sing to?
We didn't sing.
No, we didn't. What you did the are you ready part or the the
You know what
you hummed along to the DX theme song like that, but you didn't
our generation was a catchphrase generation.
very much so.
And this
Yeah,
generation, it's a singing generation. And I love it. I'm here for it.
I'm trying to think of songs that could have been maybe Batista's
I mean, if you're
Big Show's.
Xavier Woods, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, a Big
Xavier
Show.
Woods. Yeah. I mean, Big Show's not really a sing-along song. I mean,
Uh,
DX could
yeah,
definitely be a
DX
sing-along song.
definitely.
Um, yeah, I mean, but there wasn't even a lot of lyrics in a lot of songs back in the day either, right?
I've got one. Nation of Domination.
Oh my God. Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of lyrical sing-along songs back in the day.
Well,
Shawn
other than
Michaels.
other than the ridiculous omission of the greatest theme song of all time, "Look at Me" by Rob Conway. I love everything else about your list.
I think it was a solid list on a quick throw together. That one I made this list really quickly and I researched it and everything. It came to me pretty quick.
That's and you did a good job because I can't think of anything that you're missing. There's a few little things that whatever, but I do think Becky probably could have saw your list, but
Who would you take off though?
I don't. I tell you, her and Sammy, it's because of the same fucking song.
Same song, different emotion.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
I love it. Great list. Once again, not only am we on a roll, we're on a roll with our listeners because Rob gets so excited online every time we come up with another list. He was a little upset when we had a few weeks there where we weren't really listing. And he's loving the roll we're on. It's been you and me without not without a guest, but without not one of us for several weeks now, always with the list. Everybody's happy. What would make me happy is two things. Number one, if you haven't hit it already, go hit that subscribe button. Number two, if you haven't grabbed your tickets for WrestleFest yet, Wing Lee already told you how to do it. Go grab those tickets. Come see us on this Sunday. It's only a couple of days away. You don't have much time. Come on. Come see us in Mississauga.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Good job, buddy.
I am helping.
Until next time, do you have any more housekeeping needs to be done, my friend?
Take us home, brother.
We don't know what we're doing next week, but I guarantee you it's gonna be packed full of fun stuff that we did at WrestleFest. Until then, my friends, you have been counted out.
Cheers.